Joining us now with the exclusive from this is Margaret Olohan, senior reporter for the Daily Signal and author of D-Trans, True Stories of Escaping the Gender Ideology Cult. Margaret, welcome back.
So great to be here.
Kamala Harris clearly weaponized her Justice Department in California. If you believe that video, if you believe the timeline, do you expect this to continue at a federal level?
Well, David Daleiden certainly does. David Daleiden is the pro-life journalist who took these videos of Planned Parenthood officials talking about how they want Lamborghinis, how they remove certain body parts from babies in order to not use such crunchy techniques that would destroy certain body parts that they wanted to give to fetal tissue procurers. Planned Parenthood claims that they were just getting reimbursed for costs, but David Daleiden argues very convincingly that they were actually selling these baby body parts, and that's why they're doing so many abortions, is to provide these baby body parts and get paid for them. Now, he's been brutally punished by Planned Parenthood, by California, by the DOJ. He's been targeted for 9 years now in really, really awful legal battles. And yet last week, he just released another video.
To clarify, why did they raid his house?
What
was the official explanation?
The official explanation for raiding his house was that he used illegal methods for getting these videos. And I think that's a really interesting technique because the DOJ has said this several times recently. When whistleblower Dr. Olohan said that Texas Children's was still performing irreversible gender mutilation surgeries on children, the DOJ didn't investigate whether Texas Children's was doing that. They investigated the methods by which Dr. Olohan was proving this. And in the same way with David Daleiden, they're not investigating the alleged crime. They're investigating the way in which Daleiden is showing this. And I think it tells you a lot about how much the DOJ actually cares about our children and about our unborn, and rather prosecuting and persecuting these whistleblowers and undercover journalists for their work.
Are there any direct lines between Kamala Harris's office and the ordered raid on this man's home, or is this just, we're just looking at the timelines here?
So I was very interested in this because, Daleiden's story has been heavily reported on, but when I started digging into it and talking to Daleiden, I realized, and through my conversations with him, obtained emails showing that 2 weeks before this raid, Kamala Harris's staff had been going back and forth with the DOJ arranging a special meeting. And that meeting was with top Planned Parenthood officials. And previously, these Planned Parenthood officials had been talking to the DOJ in California, and they specifically said, we want the videos and the computers that Daleiden used to make them seized. And lo and behold, when the raid took place, that was in the search warrant, and the police, or the California DOJ agents, took Daleiden's computer, cell phone, and videos to investigate whether he had committed a crime. Again, this is the same method they've used all over the country. In D.C., the mayor used this method to cover up what was going on with these preemie-sized babies that were found outside a D.C. abortion clinic. They don't care about the crime, they care about how it was exposed.
Well, because it's a huge racket. There's a lot of money involved, and it's pure evil on top of that. But unbelievable that there are those threads that you just uncovered, talking about the emails between Harris's office and certain individuals inside the DOJ. Is it just the money that really drives this relationship between Kamala Harris and Planned Parenthood, or is there something else underneath it?
Well, that might be a better question for Harris, who hasn't been taking any questions from the press. But she has a long and historied relationship with Planned Parenthood. They've given her money, thousands and thousands of dollars for years. She's long been an abortion rights advocate, claiming, of course, that there is such a right to abortion. Now they say reproductive rights instead because it's no longer as palatable to the American public. But Harris is one of, I would say, the most radical pro-abortion politicians in the country. She will not state any restrictions on abortion that she supports, nor will she state any protections for the unborn that she supports, leaving us to assume, based on her refusal to state any of these protections or restrictions, that she doesn't support any restrictions on abortion, meaning that she supports unrestricted abortion. President Donald Trump will often say that Democrats support abortion up until birth, and he'll have all these fact checkers claiming that he's lying. But at the end of the day, he's correct because they will not name any restrictions that they actually support.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.